Welcome back. So another viewer's question. It was sent to me on Facebook, and it was I've just finished my one of my dems, and they're a new medium to the platform, and they asked, how on earth do you deal with the critique? You know, like where other mediums in the audience come up and talk to you and give you their advice. How do you deal with it when it's very negative or makes you feel bad? So across this video, I'm going to somehow try and discuss that. Also, I'm super excited in this video as well because I've got a new mic. So this is the old one that you're listening to now. I'm just waiting for the blue light to stop flashing, and so there should be an upgrade in the audio, and it's an early birthday present as I am away for my birthday on the 10th. It's my big one. It's the 40th, and I've booked myself work to get away so no one goes out of their way and makes me feel awkward. So this is an early birthday present, and I cannot wait to get it going. So it'll be interesting to see if you can notice the difference in the audio. Now it completely depends on what format we're looking at the critique. I mean, if we're going to circles, then circles and the critique are gonna, well, hopefully they're gonna help us. Which, just as I'm saying this, I'm mindful of teachers and tutors that have been way over the top or attacked a student's way and destroyed their confidence in every facet. So if we keep it along a baseline of it's a good tutor and it's a good class and it's got some success in its background, then I think we need to take the critique sometimes. You know, maybe our presentation wasn't so good, or we didn't dial it in quick enough, or whatever. That circle, that's what we expect to happen. That's why we're going to circle, to have our mediumship polished as such. You know, refine it down, dial in the ability that we're trying to make better. Then you'll have your new light worker, fledgling knights, whatever it'll be when you're finally putting your toe in the water of the public domain. You know, these centres and churches, that some of them are very good at holding very regular new worker nights or fledgling nights. I don't like any term there, but just so you understand what one I'm talking about. Again, you're going to invite critique, you're going to invite it onto you because you're going in as the fledgling or the new light worker, and the people that attend these events are there in support of the church or the centre. They would have seen many mediums over the years, and they'll be supporting the new workers. A lot of them will be very good and very complimentary, because they want you to feel good. They know how difficult it is to get up there, and even if they have a negative thought about it, they will focus on all the positive. However, you will get that one that will come up and speak their mind and try to destroy you. And I know it's wrong. I know that it shouldn't be that way, but the point of the channel is that I highlight every aspect of it, and unfortunately there's going to be some negative that goes with that. I know this one's back in the room. I know you're all enjoying, or most of you are enjoying the outdoors, the nature, but my diary is jam-packed today and I'm really struggling on a time frame. I'm demonstrating in Newmarket later, so as much as you probably want me to be outside, I want to be outside today, but I can't. I just don't have the time to slot it in, and it's unfortunate, isn't it? So we're back in here today, so my apologies to all that are expecting something outside, but it keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? So here it is. It's going to go on now. Let's see if there's a difference. And there's the old one. It's done me well, but now it's time to retire it off to the the shelf somewhere in the studio that I am getting ready as a memory at the start of this channel. So I expressed yesterday that I'd go a little bit more into detail about how the community were silencing me or telling me I'm doing it wrong and so on and so forth. So I remember when I was attending the new Lightworker evenings, I remember when I was just setting out. I was just setting out to the local centres and churches in the local area, and I come up against like a brick wall. It was an absolute nightmare. I had mediums with 20 years experience, they would tell me, of working a platform, and I'm doing it wrong, and you shouldn't be doing it like that, you should do it more like this, and blah, blah, blah. The list is endless. And I remember how bad that made me feel. I remember how like if a medium that I've watched a number of times would come up afterwards and say I didn't like it, it wasn't what I expected, I expected to hear more about this, or you should do that. And I'd go home and I'd be hurting. And it would be one of those things where I would analyse it, I would go over it, and every single time I knew that I had like a checklist in my own mediumship, in the sense of, did I present evidence? Was there evidence there? And yes, there was evidence there. And did I stick to like a time frame, like 7 to 10 minutes? Because I was working through like the PASS system, through the SNU as well, and it was all about structure and like the communications that you should get out in an entire evening. So the time structure was correct. Did they recognise what I was saying? Yes. Did they always answer yes? The majority of the time they did, and any no's I definitely went back and cleared up. It was something that I was passionate about, not walking through a no or ignoring a no. I'd make sure that I tried my absolute best to get through the no. And so I would go through and go, but I did all of that. Why have they said that? Why are they making me feel like my mediumship is wrong? And what I was aware of was that when I was watching mediumship, I was definitely aware that there was not much evidence at all. And in fact, a lot of it was psychic work, not mediumship. It wasn't communication. And so I decided myself, do you know what? I'm not going down that route. I'm going to make sure that when they turn up, they get evidence. They know communication has happened, whether they want that or not. And the problem that I find, even today, is that they're not there for mediumship. They're there for their own, their self. A lot of people want psychic work. When's life going to get better? When am I going to meet the man? And you bumped your car last week, and all the stuff that's in the psyche. Whereas evidence from the communication is them telling their story and trying to give them back for a moment. You will hit a brick wall. A lot of people haven't had it, and because there's 20 years of attendance under their belt, and they've seen this psychic for all intents and purposes, that's now their bar. That is set there. So it can be very, very difficult. And so every church that I was serving, I was coming up against this brick wall of, you're not doing it right, you're getting it wrong, that's not what mediumship is. And then I would then argue with them and say, well, you're wrong, this is mediumship, I'm not a psychic, I'm a medium. And I would argue with that. Now, it's very sad to say, but I probably lost 50% of my bookings through me standing up for myself. And trust me, it takes an awful lot when you're being attacked verbally by mediums, by people that are respected within that church, and you're stood there kind of fighting your case. You're fighting for your spirit team and your development and the relationship that you've built. That a lot of these places were like, no, we're not having him back, he's not coming back. he don't do it the way that we want it done, and so on and so forth. That list is endless. However, we are now 4, maybe 5 years on, and all of these people have come back. They've all phoned me up. They all want it the way that I do it, with evidence and my style of mediumship. And now I believe the majority of them respect my work, and they can see what it is that I'm trying to achieve and what it is that I'm trying to do. So it was through the battle, and it was a terrible battle. It hurt. Their words hurt me. Everything had an effect. But for me, it was one of those sink or swim scenarios. They can beat me and I can walk away and I can leave it and leave the bar where it is. Or I can fight against the system as such, and I can try and raise that bar. I can try and show them quality communication, not in an arrogant way, but show that there's evidence there that communication is taking place, and then they can see maybe that they haven't been watching quality for the last 20 years or however long it is that they've been attending the church. So my advice to the person that contacted me and what do we do is, you may want to fight your corner. Maybe it's something that you need to be looking into. However, I appreciate you're new, and so your voice won't be heard like someone else's voice that has many, many years experience there. What I recommend is that you use it as your drive. Show them your evidence. Show them that you have the connection to the spirit world and you are communicating in the best way of your ability at this moment in time. But always use it as a benchmark to better yourself in the future. Now, we've covered the circle critique, we've covered the new light workers critique, and then we're going to go into more of the professional aspects. Maybe you do 3 DEMs a week. This will give you the practice. And whether you like it or not, people will talk about you. This is where your reputation will start to grow. And again, that's going to take a little bit of time. That's going to be very, very difficult to get maybe a year or 2 down the line, because the words are hurting you. The people's opinion is hurting you. So it's finding the balance that we can get to the audience. So now what I do in that scenario is I know where I'm going, and I've served many, many centres. And so what I do is I gauge my audience from previous experience. If I go to Suffolk, I know that I don't want to be dialing in information on a factual level where it's absolutely pinpoint accurate, because they don't get it in that area in general. I don't mean each recipient. So I set my stall up to be factual but not completely dialed in. However, when I'm in London, I know I need to really dial it in. I really have to try to get the facts as close to actual fact that it is, because that's what they expect when I go to London. The same with the Midlands. When I'm up in the Midlands, everything needs to be perfect. So I dial it in according. You'll only learn that through experience. That's something that you need to go along with and just adjust and accept that you're going to mess that up sometimes and it's going to go wrong sometimes. Just know, go through the little checklist at the end. Did I evidentially prove? Did I stick to time? Did they always say yes? And sort of go through that. And if you've done your job, then be satisfied. It's okay to critique yourself in that moment, and take people's opinion with a pinch of salt. We don't know their story. We don't know what it is that they're doing. We don't know the motive behind their words. Maybe they're trying to destroy you. Maybe that you were very good and they want to knock you down a peg, because unfortunately that also happens. One of those things. Then you're going to get to a point where you're doing ticket events. You're in the theatre, or you're charging £15 for a ticket in this demonstration, and you are opening yourself up to the critique. You are charging premium rate for your demonstration, then you need to be on fire. You need to hit the bar. You need to be able to deliver what it is that they believe they are purchasing from an evening of mediumship on a ticket event. Many of you will remember about, 18 months ago now, I can't really remember how far back, where this had happened for me, but I was part of the congregation, and I was the one that made a comment because I had paid £15. The demonstration was cut short, and the medium in question came to me to have a 20-minute chat in the interval, where they told me they weren't on fire, they weren't doing so good, and I remarked how outstanding the first link was, but they downplayed it and said they're having a terrible day, and then cut the dem short. But I had paid £15 for my ticket, so I didn't get what I was paying for, along with the rest of the audience there. So I made a post about that on Facebook, many of you remember, to which I received in excess of 3,500 inboxes attacking me because I shouldn't have spoke out about what had happened. And so bear in mind, if you're going for premium rate ticket and you're going for a showcase event, then you're not allowed a bad one. It can't go wrong. You've got to make sure that you are on fire, you're firing on all cylinders, the mechanics are all in the right place, and you work through it. You get through the evening. So as you tick through the boxes, did I deliver? Did I provide evidence? Did I provide communication? Was it always yeses? If you do that, then the premium rate's okay. If you're not ticking any of those boxes, then people have the right to say, but you charged me £15 to watch that, and I can see better in my circle. So bear it in mind when it comes down to the critique. So that's the end of today's video. If any of you are about later, you'll catch me in Newmarket, where I'm holding a special evening. Come along, critique. But I am now not, I'm busy all weekend, so I will try and get one up early part of next week, but then I fly out to Italy, where I've got a few days out in Italy where it's workshop, readings, demonstration, the usual kind of thing in Italy. And I don't think I'll be taking the camera. I may be able to get something out there, but as for an upload, it may be a little bit difficult. So I'm just pre-warning you with what's going on there. But still engage. Go back through some of the videos, leave a comment, because that helps the channel. I'm getting closer now to the 1,000 that I want on the channel, so thank you very much for that, for all the support, those of you that comment on all the videos. I truly mean it. I really, really appreciate it. So until next time, don't forget to sort of comment in on this video on what you want discussed. The last 3 videos have been on viewers' questions. So, and I'm here to help. This is the point of the channel. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you through your problems or the brick walls that you come up against. I can talk about all the love and light stuff and the 1111 stuff and the chakra stuff, but YouTube's saturated with it. I want something that you can take value from. I want something that actually helps you. I'm not on a pedestal. I will give you it. You go away and work with it. You improve with it. Then you can come back and express your experience upon the channel. The channel is for you. So engage with it. Let me know what it is that you want to talk about. I will create a video and you will see it uploaded for you and all the people that are going to take something from it. I'll step to the side to let YouTube give you the next videos, and I will see you all early next week. Enjoy your weekend.